Sometimes we're just walking down the street on a regular day and social anxiety just hits us out of nowhere. All of a sudden, we are just tense, we feel all of this pressure and anxiety that's not even related to anything because it's so vague. Like we are just walking down the street, no one did anything to us, yet we still feel this weird sensation. Well, if you go through similar situations yourself, what you have to understand is that when such situations occur, what's actually hidden behind that weird feeling is a fear that the persons around you might find out something about you. There is a specific character trait or like even physical trait of yours that you want to hide at all costs. And to do it, you use this anxiety. Your body is basically signaling to you that this is a dangerous situation. We need the feeling of anxiety. Like, every single feeling we have is not in vain. Like, every single feeling has a purpose, and thousands of years ago, they were all useful. But now, with all of this evolution on, a lot of them are not useful anymore. So what do you actually fear in that situation? Well, perhaps in that specific day you do feel like a loser. For some reason you just feel like a loser. You feel like you're the worst person to walk the earth. Perhaps you feel like you are just looking horrible, like your hair is horrible, your clothes are wrinkled and all over the place. Perhaps you've stained yourself. There might be so many reasons behind this weird anxiety. But perhaps you're not even able to label anything that's behind it. Perhaps you just acknowledge that, yeah, I feel weirdly anxious for no reason whatsoever. Well, a weird trick you could employ in such a situation is to get yourself into the state, the vibe, the energy, where you would have the courage to go ahead, stop a person on the street, and just be like, well, hey, sorry for interrupting you. I feel incredibly anxious right here. If you get that energy, if you get yourself in that state, it's gonna go away, I promise. Your anxiety is there because it is trying to hide something from the world. It is trying to hide a certain trait of yours from the other people. If you would just embrace honesty, like complete honesty, being 100% transparent, and accept the possibility that other people might find out everything about you so that you have nothing to hide anymore, then you're free. When you have nothing to hide, you are just free. You can behave in whatever way you want to behave. So obviously you don't have to really go ahead and stop people from walking and just telling them everything about you and the way you're feeling. But you should just get into that energy. You should just try to visualize that scenario in your mind. To even try to visualize it so vividly that you almost convince yourself that that's the truth. That you just told that random old person walking by you that you are incredibly anxious, that you do feel like the worst person alive today, that you feel like you're extremely ugly, that you feel extremely dumb, whatever it is. Just embrace that transparency, embrace that honesty as well, just being yourself completely out there. Because look, like if you're able to just be yourself all the time, then nothing has any power over you anymore. When this anxiety and these negative sensations and even the fear of judgment from other people have control over you, it's because there are aspects of you that you don't own. If you would just be able to own everything, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the potential judgments and threats, then you are invincible because now your anxiety has no purpose. Now you fear nothing. Now you're just out there. Now you're just yourself. You don't even have to perform and to raise up to the occasion, to be in a certain way, to try to look more confident than you actually are, and all of these like weird, overcomplicated mechanisms that you probably usually leverage. There's no need for that. We were meant to just be ourselves, and oftentimes, like we always overcomplicate it so much. We're just trying to hide aspects of ourselves that we believe are completely detrimental, they're gonna ruin our reputation. I'm sure you know examples of this. I'm sure you've experienced it yourself so many times. Your ego just playing these games on you, telling you that it's unsafe for you to be seen by others. It's unsafe for you to express the way you actually want to express. And you should just be reserved. You should just be a robot. No expressions, no emotions, because showing emotions makes it more likely that people are gonna notice you and they're gonna be able to judge you more, and all of these like weird and useless optimizations. They literally do nothing. It's just an illusion that your ego is trying to convince you of, that if you alter your behavior, if you play it more safe, you are going to be more safe. But it's probably not even the case. You're not going to be more safe, you're just going to have a worse social life, that's all. And it's better to acknowledge this sooner rather than later, because this has probably been occurring for quite some time now. And it's time to step out of it. That's all I had to say in this video. It's probably a shorter one, it's probably a bit more all over the place. And I hope you managed to take some value from it. See you next time.